students, welcome to teleeducation classes. So how are you doing? All right. So let's get started with the class today. Let's see what do we have for us today. So what do you see here in this frame? কি দেখতে পাচ্ছ এই frame? Yeah, this is a room. A person is sitting with a laptop and working, right? Okay. Now let's see what happens next. So we see a boy is entering and he is he is a student because he is wearing a uniform, right? Okay. Now he says, "Good morning, sir. May I come in?" ছেলেটা জিজ্ঞেস করছে, "Good morning, sir. May I come in?" Now the teacher says, "Yes, please. I think you are in 8th standard. Am I right?" Okay. তো the teacher বলছে যে, "Okay, come in. Sure, come in. I think you are in 8th standard. Am I right?" আমি কি ঠিক বলছি? Now he says, "No, sir. I am in the 9th standard." ও বলছে আমি 8th এ না, আমি class 9 এ পড়ি। I read in class 9. Okay. Now tell me now, what's your problem? Okay. To this the boy says, "I'm very sorry, sir. I lost my pen." Okay. So what is happening? The thing that is happening is the boy has come with the complaint that he has lost his pen. ছেলেটা এসছে জানাতে যে সে তার কলম হারিয়ে ফেলেছে. Now the man asks, "Is it very costly?" The teacher is asking, "Is it very costly?" He says, "I don't know, sir, but it's a Parker pen." Right? Okay. To this he says, "When and where did you lose it?" Okay, so when have you lost it, at which place and at what time? কখন এবং কোন সময় তোমার কলমটা হারিয়েছে? He says, "Yesterday in the field." Okay, so yesterday in the field. Now he says, "Let me check." Okay, let me check. Now let's look at the conversation once again. This was the conversation between the student and the teacher that we just read. এই conversationটা আমরা just পড়লাম, the conversation between the student and the teacher, right? Now, what are the points that we are going to focus on? We are going to focus on the word what's. Okay, what's your problem? What's, right? Okay, then we are going to focus on when. Okay, when. All right, then we are going to focus on where. When and where did you lose it? Okay, so what's your problem? When and where did you lose it? Note down that these are all question sentences, right? এই প্রত্যেকটা sentence কি করছে? They are asking question, right? Okay, so we will continue with this topic. Let's take up this question at first. Chalo, let's solve it. Fill in the blank with the appropriate option. Okay, fill in the blank with the appropriate option. Dash is the name of your school. So there are 4 options given to you. So out of the 4 options, you have to choose which option is the appropriate option for the blank that is given, right? Okay, so you understood the question, I guess. Questionটা বুঝেছো? questionটা বলছে কি, একটা blank তো দেওয়া আছে দেখতে পাচ্ছ, dash is the name of your school. Okay, so বলছে যে এই dash এর মধ্যে কোন ওয়ার্ডটা বসবে। চারটা অপশনের মধ্যে what, when, which, where, এই চারটা অপশনের মধ্যে কোন অপশনটা এই ড্যাশে বসবে? That is the question given to you, right? Okay, so your time starts now. Think and give me your responses. Go ahead. Okay, chalo. Dash is the name of your school. So which option do you think is the correct option here? Okay, go ahead. All right. Okay, very good. So the correct option is yes. Very good. So the correct option is, of course, option A, right? What is the name of your school? What is the name of your school? Right? Option A. Now, let's move forward first. Okay. So, in today's class, you remember we highlighted what, when, where. Okay. So, these are all what? Right. These all are called question words. So, in today's class, we are going to learn and discuss about question words, right? তো আজকের ক্লাসে আমরা কি পড়বো, কি শিখবো? আমরা আজকের ক্লাসে question words পড়বো। What, when, where, এই প্রত্যেকটা শব্দ কি ছিল? এগুলোকে আমরা বলি question words, right? Okay, now let's move ahead. So you see, these are all question words. What, who, when, where, which, why, whose, how. These are all question words. You remember? You must have read about types of sentences, interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences ask questions. They begin with question words, WH words, right? So these are question words. These are question words or WH words, right? So what, who, when, where, which, why, these are question words. Why they are called question words? এগুলোকে question words কেন বলা হয়? They are called question words because they help in asking question. আমরা এই শব্দগুলোকে ইউজ করি টু আস্ক কোয়েশ্চেন জিজ্ঞেস করার জন্য, রাইট? ওকে, নাও লুক এট দিস table. So what? When is the question word what used? আমরা কখন what question wordটা ইউজ করি? We use what for identification. Identification, কিছু আইডেন্টিফাই করার জন্য। কি আইডেন্টিফাই করার জন্য? A person or a thing. ঠিক আছে, কোনো পার্সনকে বা কোনো মানুষকে বা কোনো জিনিসকে আইডেন্টিফাই করার জন্য আমরা কোয়েশ্চেন ওয়ার্ড হোয়াট ইউজ করে থাকি। ফর এক্সাম্পল, I can ask, what is your name? Okay. So what is your name means I'm trying to identify that particular person. Now, I can also ask, what did you have? Okay. So by that, we are identifying that particular thing which the person had for breakfast. Okay. Now let's look at examples. As I told you, what is your name? Okay. What are you? What did you have for breakfast? Okay. What are you doing? So all these আর আইডেন্টিফিকেশন, এইগুলো হচ্ছে সব পরিচয় পাওয়া। কি করছে, কি হচ্ছে, তোমার নাম কি, পরিচয় পেলে। তুমি সকালে কি খেয়েছো সেটা জানলে, আইডেন্টিফাই করলে, সেটা জানতে পারলে যে আজকে সকালে সে কি দিয়ে খেয়েছে ব্রেকফাস্টে। ঠিক আছে? সো হোয়াট question word is used for identification. Is that clear? All right. Okay. Now let's see what's next for us. The next is who. Okay. Who. W-H-O. Who use for identification, but that is strictly restricted to a person. Okay. Who question wordটা again আমরা আইডেন্টিফিকেশনের জন্য ইউজ করি, কিন্তু এটা particularly restricted একটা মানুষ আইডেন্টিফিকেশন। Okay, it is particularly restricted to a human identification, like who is your father? Okay, who is your father, who is your mother, like this. Now when is when used? Yes, when is used to identify time, সময় বোঝানোর জন্য। In order to understand or talk about time, to identify time, we use the question word when. Okay, when are you going to come to the party? When do you get up? Okay, when are you going to reach the place? When are you going to come for class? When is the teacher going to come? All these questions are related to knowing about time, সময়, right? Clear? Okay. Now let's see what's next. Next is which. So what, who, when. Now in a question, what is, when is which used for? Which is used to about choice. You are given two pens, asking you which pen will you choose. So choice. Okay. Then I'm giving you, suppose say, two dresses, maybe a pink dress and then a red dress, and then I'm asking you which dress will you choose. So then we use which, choice, right? So which color do you like? Which dress would you prefer? Okay. Then which pen would you like to write with? So which is which we use in a situation when we have to choose. Okay, when we have choices in front of us and we have to choose, right? Okay, now let's look at where. Again, when is time, okay, and where is place. Okay, place by position. Where is the book? The book is on the table. Okay, where are you going? I'm going to the market. Okay, so where is your school? My school is located at Pan Bazar. Okay, so where is you, just like when is used to denote time specifically, where is used to identify and understand about place or position. বুঝেছো? where কখন ইউজ করি আমরা? যে কোনো কিছুর জায়গা, স্থান বা কোনো পজিশন, কোথায় সেটা আছে, সেটা টেবিলের উপরে আছে, টেবিলের নিচে আছে, খাটের উপরে আছে, সাইডে আছে, নিচে আছে, পজিশন বোঝার জন্য আমরা where ইউজ করি। Clear? Okay, look at this example once again. So what is your name? What? Okay, who is your father? Who? When do you get up? Which color do you like? Where do you live? Right? Okay. Now, you see, so these are all question word, or we also call them as WH words, right? Okay, now let's take up this particular question. Chalo, look at it. Fill in the blank with the appropriate option. Okay, again. So there is a dash. Dash much sugar do you need? Dash much sugar do you need? Four options in front of you are A, whom, B, how, C, when, and D, whose. Okay, these are the four options in front of you. So fill in the blank with the appropriate option. So did you get the question right? The question is, questionটা কি বলছে? questionটা বলছে একটা সেন্টেন্স দেওয়া আছে যেটার মধ্যে আমরা একটা ব্ল্যাঙ্ক দেখতে পাচ্ছি, ড্যাশ মাচ সুগার ডু ইউ নিড। সো ওই ব্ল্যাঙ্কে কোন অপশনটা, চারটা অপশনের মধ্যে কোন অপশনটা ওই ব্ল্যাঙ্কে বসবে, which option is going to be the most appropriate option. Okay, so that is the question that is being asked to you, right? Okay, so your time starts now. Give me your responses quickly. Go ahead. Dash much sugar do you need? And the four options are given to you, right? Go ahead. All right, okay. Dash much sugar do you need? So whom, how, when, and whose. So which option do you think is the correct option, right? Okay. All right, very good. So the correct response is, of course, option B, right? How much sugar do you need? How much sugar do you need, right? Okay, now let's move forward and let's see what do we have next. So this is an exercise in front of us, so let's solve the exercise. So fill in the blanks with suitable question words. Okay, so you have to fill in the blanks with suitable question words. Sentences will follow and the blanks should be filled up with suitable question words. বুঝেছো কি করতে হবে? এক্সারসাইজটা দেওয়া আছে, প্রত্যেকটা সেন্টেন্স ডিসপ্লে হচ্ছে, তার সঙ্গে সেন্টেন্সের মধ্যে একটা ড্যাশ আছে। সো সেই ড্যাশটায় কোন পার্টিকুলার কোয়েশ্চেন ওয়ার্ডটা বসবে, that you have to identify. Okay, the hint is given. For example, place. So dash do the tiger sleep? So place, which question word identifies place? Yes, very good. So it is where do the tigers sleep? Where do the tigers sleep, right? Okay, very good. Next, dash do the crocodiles eat? Dash do the crocodiles eat? Now think, thing. So which question word identifies thing? Yes, very good. It is what. What do the crocodiles eat? What do the crocodiles eat, right? Okay, next, dash do you have lunch? Time. Which question word suggests time? Yes. So it is when. When do you have lunch? When suggests time, right? Now, dash city do you like better? Delhi or Chennai? Choice? Yes. Which? Which city do you like better? Delhi or Chennai? Right? Okay. Next, dash is your brother? Job or profession? So that is the hint given to you, job or profession. So what are you going to write? Which question word are you going to use here? Yes, very good. Okay, what is your brother? Okay, next. All right, let's take up this particular question before moving forward. Okay, so again, fill in the blank with the appropriate auxiliary. So where dash you last night? Where dash you last night? There are four options given to you: was, will, where, and would, right? So what you have to do is, you have to fill in, again, fill in the blank with the appropriate option out of the four options given to you. Clear? So কি করতে হবে? চারটা অপশন দেওয়া আছে, সেন্টেন্স দেওয়া আছে, where dash you last night, সেন্টেন্স একটা গ্যাপ আছে, সো সেই ড্যাশে কোন অপশনটা বসবে সেই চারটার মধ্যে, ওটা তোমাদেরকে আইডেন্টিফাই করতে হবে। Clear? That you have to figure out, right? Okay, so your time starts now. Give me your responses. Go ahead. Where dash you last night? So your options are in front of you: was, will, where, would. Which option do you think is the correct option here? Where dash you last night? Okay, go ahead. All right. Okay, very good. So the correct option is, of course, option C, right? Where you last night? Last night, past tense. Okay, so where last night? right? Okay. Now, frame questions so as to get the underlined words as answer. Okay. So let's look at this. The first sentence in front of us is Jahir is a doctor. So what you have to do is you have to frame a question in such a way that you get this particular response, Zahir is a doctor, as the answer, right? বুঝেছো কোয়েশ্চেনটা কি, এক্সারসাইজটা কি? বলছে একটা কোয়েশ্চেন বানাতে হবে সেভাবে জানে যত তুমি এই উত্তরটা পাও, যে জাহির ইজ আ ডক্টর, জাহির ইজ আ ডক্টর উত্তরটা যেন পাও সেই হিসেবে একটা কোয়েশ্চেন বানাও, right? The question is clear to you? Okay, so now let's solve. How are we going to do this? So Zahir is a doctor, right? So we have to focus on the word Zahir so that we get the response as Zahir is a doctor. So how are we going to write this? You will say who is a doctor. Okay, who is a doctor? Then the response is Zahir is a doctor, right? Okay. Now again Zahir is a doctor. Now we are focusing on the word doctor. We are focusing on the word doctor. So what are you going to write here? How are you going to frame the sentence? Yes, very good. You are going to say what is Zahir? Okay, what is Zahir, or what is Zahir's profession? The answer is Zahir is a doctor, right? Okay, next. Safi came this morning. So we have to focus on this morning. This morning is the response. So we have to frame question to get this particular response. So Safi came this morning. So how are we going to write? Yes, very good. We are going to say like, when did Safi come? When did Safi come? So the answer is Safi came this morning, right? Okay. Now, what is happening? There is a train station we see, right? And the sentence in front of us is Abdullah left for Chittagong by Sonar Bangla Express. Okay, Abdullah left for Chittagong by Sonar Bangla Express. So the first question that we have to focus on, the answer is Abdullah. So we have to frame a question so that we get the response about Abdullah, right? Okay, so what are you going to write here? What is the question that you are going to frame? Abdullah left for Chittagong by Sonar Bangla Express. What are you going to write? You are going to say try and frame. What are you going to say here? What are you going to write? Try and frame. You are going to, have to remember, we have to focus on the word Abdullah. The answer should be coming relating to Abdullah. So you are going to say who left for Chittagong. Then the answer will be Abdullah left for Chittagong. Okay, who left for Chittagong? Abdullah left for Chittagong, right? Now next we have to focus on Chittagong. Okay, that kind of Abdullah left for which place? Okay, so you have to frame question ask in this particular pattern. So what are you going to write here? Which question are you going to frame, or how are you going to frame this? You are going to say where did Abdullah leave for? You remember where is used to identify place, right? Place, position. So the place here is Chittagong. So where did Abdullah leave for? Abdullah left for Chittagong. Okay, Abdullah left for Chittagong, right? Now the last here is Sonar Bangla Express. So we have to frame question so that we get the answer is Sonar Bangla Express. So we will say which train did Abdullah take? So we can write Abdullah took the Sonar Bangla Express, right? So you understood how can you frame questions using question words? So you look at the three questions once again. So you understood it, right? So this is how we can frame questions using the question words, right? Okay. Now let's look at each question word separately, individually. So what? So what, why, when is what used? What is used to ask for information. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, what did you have for breakfast? What is the capital of Assam? Okay, so what is used to know information, to collect information, জানার জন্য, কিছু ফ্যাক্ট, কিছু কথা জানবার জন্য। যখন কিছু জানবার ইচ্ছে থাকে আমাদের, তখন আমরা জেনারেলি what question ওয়ার্ডটাকে ইউজ করি। হোয়াট ইজ দ্য ক্যাপিটাল অফ আসাম, হোয়াট ইজ ইয়োর নেম, হোয়াট ডাজ ইয়োর ফাদার ডু। ওকে, সো তখন আমরা হোয়াট কোয়েশ্চেন ওয়ার্ডটাকে ইউজ করে থাকি যখন আমাদের কিছু জানবার থাকে, বুঝলে? দেন আর কখন হোয়াট কোয়েশ্চেন ওয়ার্ডটা ইউজ হয়? আস্কিং ফর ওপিনিয়ন। যখন when we want to know somebody else's opinion, then also we use what. You will say, what do you think about it? Okay, what do you think about it? What is your opinion about the new policy? Okay, so what do you think about it? What is your opinion about the new policy? All these are asking for opinion. Okay, opinion. Now, asking for repetition or confirmation. Asking for repetition or confirmation. Right? Say suppose these people are in school. So the teacher says, what? Can you repeat that again? Okay, you responded something to your teacher. The teacher is not able to understand. So the teacher says, what? Can you repeat then again? Okay. So what is used again for confirmation as well. Okay. And we also use what for. Okay. What for. What for is used to know the reason. To know the reason of anything. কিছুর কারণ জানার জন্য আমরা what for টা use করি. What made you do that? Okay. What made you do that? তুমি কেন এটা করলে? What made you do that? What for have you come here? তুমি কেন এখানে এসছো? ঠিক আছে? Why did you come here? What for have you come here? তুমি কেন এখানে এসছো? Right? Okay. Now let's look at, so we have looked at what. Now let's start with when. So when we know, when is used to talk about the time of happening of an action. Okay, the time. When is used to know the time. When were you born? Okay, when were you born? When did India get independence? So you see, it's time. Time. Everything is talking about a particular time or a date. To know about the exact time or day, as I told you, when did India get independence? So there is an exact date for this, right? 15th August. Now what are these people doing? It's Diwali, right? So the question can be, when is Diwali? So what is the time when Diwali is coming this year? So when is Diwali? Will the match start? Okay, the match is scheduled. When will it start? What is the scheduled time for the match to start? So when will the match start? To ask about a time period, duration, time period, কোনো কিছুর time period জিজ্ঞেস করার জন্য, কত সময় ধরে জিনিসটা চলবে। So when did Ashoka rule? মানে Ashoka, King Ashoka কত বছর ধরে সে রাজত্ব করেছে। Okay, so when did King Ashoka rule? Okay, when did Ashoka rule? So we have looked at what, we have looked at when. Now let's look at where. Where is used to know about place. We have read it, place or position, right? Place or position. For example, where do you live? So location. Location. তোমার place, position, তোমার location. কোথায় থাকো তুমি? তোমার তো একটা address আছে? You have an address, right? So তুমি কোথায় থাকো? Next, where are you planning to go during summer holidays? তো তুমি summer holidays এ কোথায় যাবার planning করছো? Where are you planning to go during summer holidays, right? Okay, next, where is the post office? Again, location. The location of the post office. Where is the post office? Post office is location ta ki, right? Okay. Now, where? To ask about the position, placement of a thing. To ask about the position or placement of a thing. Where হচ্ছে again যেটা বললাম position বা place. So suppose there is a table, you can see there is a ball, there is it has been marked as floor. So where is the ball? The ball is on the table, right? The ball is on the table. Position. I told you position. Where is the picture? The picture is on the wall. Okay. Position again. Now what did you see here? The cats jumped over the fan, right? Cats jumped over the fence. Now what can you write here? The sentence here. Over what? Okay. Where did the cats jump over? So you can say the cats jumped over the fence. Now what is it? It's a football, right? Okay. So where is the ball? Where is the ball? The ball is in her hands. Where is the ball? So position or place. The location. Clear? So position, place, location, we use where. Where. Just like we use when to know about time, we use where to know about position. Where do you sit in your class? There is a particular place where you sit. Where do you sit in your class? So which position do you sit in your class? Which is, what is your bench number or something? So I sit next to Shalini, or I sit in the front row. So where do you sit in the class? Your position of seat in the class, right? Okay. Now let's look at who and whom. Who and whom. So who is asking for a person, okay? Who is your father? Who is your mother? Okay. Who are your guardians? So who do you want to meet? Okay. So who is asking for a person? when you are asking for a person, right? So you see now, who built the Taj Mahal? So who is when you wish to know about a person, and whom asking about people. Who means one single person, and whom means when you are asking about someone more than one. Okay, so whom does your father want to meet? People. Whom does your father want to meet? People in general, right? Okay, now let's take up this particular question. See, which fill in the blank with appropriate option, right? Dash. Dash is your favorite actor. Dash is your favorite actor. So this is the question in front of you. Dash is your favorite actor, and there are four options in front of you. A, what? B, when? C, which? Or D, who? So dash is your favorite actor. This is the question, and the four options are given to you. So you have to figure out the appropriate option for the question given to you for the particular fill in the blank, and then give your responses. Clear? Okay, so your time starts now. Give me your responses. Go ahead. Okay, so dash is your favorite actor, right? Dash is your favorite actor. So what is the response here? Which question word will sit here? The appropriate question word, right? Okay, go ahead. All right, very good. So the correct response is, of course, option D. Who is your favorite actor, right? All right, okay. Now, let's move forward. So, and look at whose, the question word whose, asking about ownership, okay? Whose book is this? Whose pen is this? Ownership. Eta kar, ei book boita kar, ei column ta kar, okay? Ownership, etar malik ke, kind of, right? Okay, so whose book is this? Whose pen is this? Now, why? Why is asking for reason. Why? Why did you do this? Why did you beat the boy? Why did you come late? So asking for reason. কিছু কারণ জানতে হলে we use why. Why are you late to school? Right? So কিছু যখন কিছু reason জানতে হয় তখন আমরা why use করি. Now look at which. When is which used? When the number of choices is limited. যখন তোমার কাছে কিছু choice দেওয়া হচ্ছে তখন আমরা which use করি. Which is your favorite song from this two? Okay, which color do you prefer, pink or blue? So which hand do you write with? Okay, you have only two hands. So out of the two hands, which hand do you write with? Right, so which is used to suggest choices. কিছু choice suggest করার জন্য আমরা which use করি. Now how when we use how to ask about the process. How do you make tea? Okay, how do you use the computer? How does this work? How do you prepare an Excel sheet? Okay, so how is used to ask about the process, right? Okay, again, how is also used to ask about condition or quality. Okay, for example, don't we, when we go to a restaurant, eat the food for the first time, don't we ask each other, how is the food? Khawata kemon? How is the food? Right? Or how is your health now? How are you now? How is your health now? Right? Now, we also sometimes use how far. How far is used to ask about distance. Koto dur, shomoy kotoduk lagbe. So, then we use how far. Like, how far is Nagao from Guwahati? Guwahati থেকে নগাঁও থেকে গুয়াহাটি বা গুয়াহাটি থেকে নগাঁও যেতে কতক্ষণ লাগবে? So how far is Nagao from Guwahati? Okay, how long? How far to know about distance? How long to know about the length? Okay, length. For how long does he intend to stay? So how long? কত দিন ধরে থাকবে? It can be 1 month, it can be 2 months, it can be 15 days, right? So for how long does he intend to stay? Or how long is the train? Right? So how long is used to know about length, right? How many? How many is used to know about, as you can guess, how many to know about number or the quantity. কতগুলো? কম, বেশি, খুব বেশি, খুব কম, right? Okay, so how many students are there in the class? What is the number of students in the class? Okay, that is the question. So how many students are there in the class? Then how much? How much? Of course, to know about the quantity. How much sugar do you need? Okay, or how much sugar do you take in your tea? So how long did they play? Okay, So how much? Generally uncountable, right? Okay. Now let's take up this particular question. So frame a question for the following sentence. So there is a sentence given to you. The sentence is the boy is working very hard, and so you have to frame a question to get this particular sentence as response. The response should be the boy is working very hard, and the four sentences are given in front of you. So you have to frame a question so that you get this particular sentence as the response. Clear? বোঝা গেল কোয়েশ্চেনটা? কোয়েশ্চেনটা বলছে যে এই যে সেন্টেন্সটা দেওয়া আছে, দ্য বয় ইজ ওয়ার্কিং ভেরি হার্ড, এই সেন্টেন্সটা ফ্রেম এই সেন্টেন্সটাকে অ্যাজ আনসার পাওয়ার জন্য তোমাকে একটা অ্যাপ্রোপ্রিয়েট কোয়েশ্চেন ফ্রেম করতে হবে। সেই কোয়েশ্চেনটা ফ্রেম করো এমন ভাবে সো দ্যাট তুমি এই আনসারটা, দ্য বয় ইজ ওয়ার্কিং ভেরি হার্ড, এই আনসারটা পাও। So there are four options given to you. So out of the four options, which option do you think is the appropriate question to get this particular response, right? Okay. So your time starts now. Give me your responses. Look at each of the options carefully, very carefully, and then give me your response. প্রত্যেকটা অপশনকে খুব ভালো করে দেখো, পড়ো ভালো করে, তারপর রেসপন্সটা দাও। The boy is working very hard. Okay? The boy is working very hard. Which option do you think is the correct option here? All right, great. So the correct option is, of course, option B. Okay, now let's look at the four options. So option A and C gets ruled out automatically because they are not questions. They are just simple assertive sentences. They are not question or interrogative sentences. So they get automatically ruled out. A আর C হবে না, কারণ এগুলো question sentences না, এগুলো assertive sentences। ঠিক আছে, তো A আর C হচ্ছে না। বাঁচলো option B and D. We are left with B and D. So out of B and D, if you look at D, the question is who is the boy? So this doesn't give you the response, the boy is working very hard. Who is the boy? Then you can say, okay, Ram is the boy, he is a farmer, something like this. So the appropriate option is option B. How is the boy working? Then you respond, you give the response that the boy is working very hard, right? Okay. Now, so we have almost come to the fag end of our class. Now we will summarize what we have studied today. So look at the options given to you here: what, when, where, why, who, whom, which. Okay, so all these are nothing but question words or WH words. Okay, so we call them WH words. They are used to frame questions or interrogative sentences, question sentences or interrogative sentences. Okay, takes help of helping verbs. Is, all these question words also take the help of helping verbs like is, was, are, were, have, has, etc. Okay, what is your name? Okay, what were you doing in the garden? Okay, which one of them is your book? Okay, so this is how these question words take the help of helping verbs. Okay, and also modal verbs. That sometimes modal verbs like will, shall, would, can, okay, could, etc. to form the questions. So WH words are used to make questions. WH words দিয়ে আমরা question বানাই। আর কি WH words কিসের help নেয়? helping verbs এর help নেয়, যেমন is, was, were এগুলা। আর modal verbs এর help নেয়, যেমন will, shall, can, could এইসব, to in order to frame the questions, right? Okay, so WH questions. আজকে ক্লাসে আমরা পড়লাম WH questions. Now let's look at some examples. The examples can be, what is your name? Okay, then when did you come? When will they reach? Where are the children? So these are all examples of WH questions, right? Okay, now, all right, so what do we do here is we just come to this particular question before moving forward, and let's see what do we have for us. You see, so there is a question in front of us. That's a situation. Now let's look at the situation. The situation tells, your friend tells you that she has cheated in the exam. Okay, so she is having trouble sleeping at night and feel you are the only one they can trust with their confession. What will you do? So there is a situation in front of you where you understand and come to know that your friend has cheated in the exam, and that particular person, that particular friend is also having a trouble sleeping at night. Okay, they are not able to speak to anyone else, they cannot trust anybody, and finally they confess in front of you their crime. So what are you going to do in such a situation? Okay, option three options are given to you. The first option is go to the teacher and tell them what you know. Okay, option B, encourage your friend to confess and request him or her to not commit such acts again. Or option C, say nothing because you will not betray a friend's confidence. So your time starts. Think and give me your response, and then I'm going to tell you what you are going to, what I will do in such a situation, right? Okay. So go ahead and give me your responses. All right. Think about the situation and then give me the response. Okay, so what I think is option B would be the proper way to deal with the situation, the proper approach to deal with the situation. What are you going to do? Encourage your friend to confess and request him or her to not commit such acts again. So you will encourage your friend, okay, to confess the crime that he or she has done, and of course make the promise that he or she will never commit such act again, such act of cheating in the examination. Right? Did you understand? Okay. Now, so we have come to the end of our class here. We will conclude with this particular feedback question, right? So before moving to the feedback question, remember whatever we have discussed today. We have learned about WH questions. What were the WH questions? We have learned and understood about them through lots of examples. When do we use the different WH questions? What, where, which, whose, how, right? In which situations do we use this particular WH words? That is what we learn and discuss today, right? So with this, your time starts. Kindly give me your feedback for your class today. Whatever you liked, whatever is your opinion about the class, you can let me know everything through this particular question, right? Okay, please go ahead and give me your responses. I will be really glad. All right. Okay, so your time's almost up. So with this, we conclude our class today. We will meet again very soon in our next class. Till then, keep reading, keep learning. Thank you so much.